Hi everybody, it's Lynnea for Simon Hurley Create. Today I'm going to be using my favorite stamp set, the Caroling Squad stamp set. And you saw me kind of show the music note background. I'm actually not going to use it. I had intended to, but after I ink blended my background, I completely forgot to stamp the music notes. So I think the card turned out fabulous without it, but I'll tell you where I meant to stamp it so that if you want to recreate this card with the music notes in the background, you definitely can. So I grabbed 3 Simon Hurley Create dye ink pads. I have Triple Berry, Remember Me, and Clear Skies. So I have like a kind of like a bright sky blue, a teal blue, and then this purple color. And the Triple Berry is my favorite color of all the purple inks that I own. I love how it's kind of like it's like a berry purple. It's so gorgeous. So basically what I did with these 3 inks was I just blended a background and I kind of have them in an arc for no particular reason other than I did it. And I just went back and forth between, I started with my dark, the Triple Berry, then the Remember Me, the Clear Skies, and then I went back to the Remember Me and the Triple Berry again. And I just kept going back and forth through the 3 inks until I got the blend that I wanted. And in the end, I wasn't completely happy with the blends, but I decided to add some white watercolor to my background because this is going to be a snowy scene. And so anytime you have maybe like a watercolor background or an ink blended background that you're not totally happy with, I definitely recommend doing some ink spatters of some color because it kind of helps to cover up those imperfections. So if you were going to stamp the music notes, you would stamp them. My idea was to stamp them with the same inks I blended with and use my Misty and stamp them a couple times before I added the white ink spatters to the background. That way I would have the ink blending in the background with the tone-on-tone music notes right on top of it. But like I said, I forgot, and so I will definitely keep that in mind for another project. So I stamped out from the Caroling Squad the little boy singing at the top of his lungs as well as the Christmas tree. And unfortunately, as I was coloring the Christmas tree, my camera went fuzzy and the focus wasn't correct. So I kept coloring in this little boy for the most part, his little pants and his shirt. And it's really simple coloring, dark, medium to light, nothing fancy at all. I'm sure you've seen it 100 times. So I have this Lawn Fawn pull tab die set, and I'm going to be making a pull tab card. And this is my first one that I've ever made, and I made a lot of mistakes. So I'm going to kind of work through this, and hopefully you'll learn from my mistakes too. So mistake number 1, I put the pull tab directly in the center of my card because I thought that's what you did. It's not. You can line up that pull tab anywhere on the side of your card because you want to see this little strip that I'm going to be cutting as my channel for my pull tab? You want that notch and this strip to line up. So you're going to see here, I'm going to die cut this little notch out, and clearly it doesn't line up. The notch is in the center and that little strip is all the way down at the bottom. And at this point, I'm just going along with my merry little way, stamping my sentiment with Versamark, and then I'm going to use Ranger Liquid Platinum embossing powder. I'm just going along. I didn't even realize I made a mistake until I went to assemble my pull tab card, and I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't line up. But luckily, I kept that negative piece, and so I can just pop that back in because I wasn't going to redo my background. So I put I just kind of put my background on top of a card base, and I popped that in so that it'll kind of hide the fact that I had an error in my die cutting. It's definitely going to still show. There's no getting around that at all, but at least it won't be stark white through the back. It's going to blend in with the background, and it won't be so glaringly obvious that I made a mistake. So here's my idea. I want the little tree to be at the bottom of my card, and I want this little boy to be hiding behind the tree, so when you use the pull tab to pull him out, you kind of see him come out and he's singing at the top of his lungs. And I just thought that was a cute idea. So I have this pull tab die here, and I cut out all the pieces. I did my folding and everything, but the little piece that's supposed to hide behind the die cut was too big. So I traced around the little boy image where I wanted him to be, and I just trimmed that off so that he could hide behind it. And here, as I'm assembling my card, is where I realized, wait, something is wrong, because I went to hide him behind the tree, And that little notch that I have over to the right, that is supposed to go right into the center of the die cut notch that we cut out. And I realized that that was not going to line up. So I quickly tore off that little guy from the pull tab, and I cut another slit up towards the top. And again, I didn't get it lined up correctly. You can see here, that part that you pull out is supposed to be completely like blocking that little notch. It's not, but I had done so much work and I was really loving the background and really loving the card idea that I decided to just go with my mistakes, because anybody that I send this card to, they know that it's handmade, and they know, my friends and my family, they know how much work and effort I put into each card. I put a lot of thought into it, and they're going to be so grateful just to have a cute card with this cute guy coming out from the tree. They're not even going to know that I made a mistake. So if you guys like make a lot of mistakes like that, like I did, work with it, and just people are going to be appreciative of the cards that you make for them. So this is basically the end of my card. I tested that little pull tab all along the way and it worked. My only thing left to do is to add a little white gel pen to the lights. You could add any color you want to these lights. My personal preference is white lights at Christmas time. So I added a little dot of white gel pen to each of these, and that will finish my little pull tab interactive card featuring Simon Hurley Create products. Thank you guys so much for watching. Head over to my blog for some still photos and more information. And thank you for watching. Bye.